actually the official meeting ended about 10 minutes ago. And so now we are into the after hours. I do have one announcement. On June 5th, we are going to have tips and tricks. So if you have a tip or trick and you would like to invite us into your shop to show us something that you've come up with, or how you tackle a certain problem or multiple problems, let me know so I can put you on the schedule. And typically we're able to get through 10 to 15 folks who have a tip and trick on our tip and tricks night. So the sooner you get onto that list, the more guarantee we'll be able to come into your shop and see what you have going on. Other than that, you've got a demo that you would like to do. If we're on to the program and you have a quick 10 or 15-minute demo you want to do, just like Casey did tonight, shoot me a message. We'll get you on. There's no issues there. And other than that, the floor is open for everybody to get to know each other. The meeting will be going on for several hours later. If you want to go grab something to eat and come back, you can also do that.
Me too.
So who's got a problem they were afraid to ask about earlier? Anybody?
I created my own problem tonight, but I fixed it.
Well, let's hear about it, Doug.
I pushed my banjo all the way up to the headstock. Then I put my steady rest on. And I went, that's not going to work.
How long did it take you to stand back and go,
And, you know, it wouldn't be that bad if it was only the first time I've ever done that. Not about the 100th time I've ever done that.
That's all right. When I take my tailstock off when I hollow or do the inside of the bowls, and I slide the headstock down. And I've been guilty of putting the tailstock back on. And then I've still got the banjo sitting on the extension bottom, and I'll be like, damn it, you did it again.
Yeah. And these things, those tailstocks don't get any lighter no matter every time I increase in years. I think they get heavier.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be getting, the back gets stronger from lifting that damn thing, but what I need to do is do like Duxbury did and put in a hoist up above and
or clean the dust off it.
Yeah.
Clean the dust off. What's that, Dan?
Yeah, get all them wood chips off it.
Oh, there's never an accumulation of wood chips on my stuff.
Yeah, there's none on mine either. Brush daily.
Always keep your ways and everything cleaned off. Don't be sliding your headstock and tailstock or your banjo over. That stuff just gets underneath and causes out of balance issues.
Yep.
So what you making, Doug?
Polish mine up again.
Doug, what are you making, Doug?
Oh, I'm working on another stupid vase. Playing around with the winged vase stuff. Hey, you guys, last week when I was goofing around with the cracks on that birdhouse, and I said I was going to nickname it the crack house because it had so many cracks in it. I have never had a piece of wood crack this much. I've had plenty of them crack on me, and it's green wood. I know it's going to crack, and I was having fun filling it in and, making the different colored lines. And I brought it in the house to show the wife, and as it's sitting there on the kitchen counter, it's just cracking more and more. I have it right here. It might crack more as we're talking. That's a new one that showed up.
Is that
and
pine?
Then, we can just drive a Mack truck through that one. Like, you shouldn't see me through there.
Exhibit A, why not to have the pith in the middle of your piece and leave it too thick, eh?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that stuff was gonna crack no matter what. It's just I'm pretty certain it was an ash tree. There wasn't much left of it when I got over there when the people in the neighborhood were having it cut down. But I think that's what it was, an Arizona ash tree. It's not any type of quality wood. So
Yeah, definitely needs dye added to it.
yeah.
So
But so
white.
I'm gonna take it to my art show, and I'm just gonna probably leave it like that and call it the Bird Crack House, and see if some rich person will give me a bunch of money for garbage, because rich people are good at that sometimes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Never mind this nice piece over here that I worked hours on. Give me $50 for this piece of firewood.
Right. Hey, that's all right. Talk it up,
Yeah,
Called an authentic, genuine, one-of-a-kind crack house.
yeah. I have a special tool that makes these cracks. It's called humidity.
Right. Mm.
And something else I'll be working on here actually tomorrow night. So I showed this to you guys probably 2 years ago. Let me see. Let me turn my camera around. But my coat rack that I made out of a tree trunk that I actually cut this tree down out of a neighbor's yard. And then I just threw it on a little office chair thing so I can, move around the shop, spin around, whatever. Anyway, so at my school, in a couple weeks, we're gonna have they call it the Family Fun Fair, and they were talking about this lollipop tree where they color the tips of some of the stems on the lollipops, and when the kids pulled out of the tree, if it has the color that they're supposed to be going for, they get to keep the lollipop and get some prize or whatever. I don't know, whatever corny stuff. But in the committee, they were talking about what they were going to make the tree out of, and I was like, I have a tree. We can drill holes in it. They're like, what do you mean you have a tree? I'm like, well, I will bring you guys a tree on wheels. So that's what I'm going to bring them. But yeah, here's the thing I'm goofing around with right now. We shall see. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
Nice steady
Get your
rest.
hands on
Where'd you get it?
This one is from Carter.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Carter and Son, different company.
Yep.
But just Carter product.
I have the same
And-
one and I really like it.
Yep.
Yep. I do too.
Me too.
I gotta invest in one.
I mean,
They're
they
handy.
are fairly easy to make. I made one myself, and then I got stupid with what I had on the lathe, and things came loose in the chuck, and well, there was the small explosion. We'll just leave it at that. And, so this one I bought, and now I get really nervous. Like I make sure everything is like perfectly round and tested before, because I don't want something coming off and ruining that one. Because it's not terribly expensive. You don't need to remortgage the house to buy one, but they're not cheap. So.
You have to sell the dog
Yeah.
to get that one. I agree.
Got to sell
Yeah.
the house to buy the lathe, but I only
Right.
have to sell the dog to buy the steady rest.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I had to sell my dog to buy, there's another one that Carter makes for cutting on the bandsaw. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's like a V block, but it has teeth on it.
Oh,
And
I haven't seen that.
It holds the log and you can push it through and cut slices off a log, depending on the size of your bandsaw. So it's a bandsaw thing. It's
Oh.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a Carter thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I got
again,
their
not to be
stabilizer.
confused. Yeah, it is, and it has these teeth on it. It's pretty cool. I think it's like 100 and I don't want to say, but between 130, 150 bucks. But if you live in like Pacific Northwest where I am, and you get a lot of trees, we have a lot of trees up there. And so you want to cut them into your rounds or whatever, and you want to cut them off, on the bandsaw to get them nice and straight. I mean, it's well worth the 130, 140 bucks,
Right.
whatever it is. So
Plus it's nice
anyway,
and
that's
secure.
another Carter product. That's good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the miter mill and it's 130.
There you go. See? Thank you.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm old. The memory's not good, except for when it came to the money. I knew it was going to be 130, 140 bucks.
Yeah, and you can make your own for 20.
Probably if you have the talent, and the time.
I did a demo on one that's on the website.
On our website here for the
Yep.
Worldwide Journals. Oh, cool.
Yep.
What's it called? What do you call it?
It was the same demo that I did for the circle cutting. I showed a log mill, two different types of log mills, one for cutting boards and one for cutting rounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. I hadn't seen that, so I got to look it up. What do I look under?
Just look under my name for demos and it'll show up.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Now, I'm married to an engineer, so hopefully he can make me one.
If you
'Cause
got
I'm
a
still-
table saw, if you got a table saw and
I got that.
a sheet of plywood and some 2x6s, you can make your own.
I got that. Table saw, 2x6s, 2x4s, got all that. I just,
Yep.
and I got a husband that can do it for me. He
There you
does
go.
that. Yeah, he likes building all my jigs and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. So, okay. All right.
If I had
All right.
it handy, I'd show it to you, but I don't know exactly where I have it at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Sandy,
Yeah.
Sandy, it was about 3 years ago.
Oh, my. Okay.
So if you look on the
Okay.
website, you'll be able to see the demonstrators. You
Okay.
just click on Scott's name and then his list of demos will pop up, and it was one of his first demos he did.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I can put George right to work. You know, we're heading home.
There you
soon.
go.
Here you go,
And
Sandy.
That's it. That's it. That is totally it. But what I don't see, Scott, the difference between the Carter, it had these little teeth thingies coming down from your angles. You know?
You don't need the teeth.
You don't need the teeth. Okay, because
No.
my husband George has made V blocks for me, is what I call them. I don't know what they're really supposed to be called. I call them V blocks because they're kind of V's. And because I cut off a lot of branches, we live in like I said, Washington, and so I cut branches off, and then I kind of cut boxes off. As you know, Dane, I cut holly boxes,
Yep.
sides, and
So
Stuff that
this is
Yeah.
two 2x8s cut at a 45. It was a square piece of 2x8
okay.
cut at a
Sterilizer.
45, and you got two pieces of 2x8. You get the four V's.
Wow. And I bet it cost a lot less than 130 bucks.
I don't know if I even got 20 bucks in this because it was all
only
scrap
thing
plywood I got from a builder.
And you know what they did have, Scott, on the bottom? I don't know if yours has that or not, but on the bottom it has a channel, you know, where it's kind of like you're building a sled to make segments, you know, and if it's
Yep.
on there. Yeah, there you go.
This,
Never mind.
this one
Miter.
fits in my miter slot so that it
That's
cuts
exactly it.
stays in the track, so you don't have to worry about it cutting straight.
That's exactly what I was talking about. See?
I've
You
added
got-
that link to the chat. If you want to
Uh-huh.
grab it, and
I
I'll
will.
even cut this little chunk out of today's video so you can get a closer look at what
Okay,
Scott just
perfect.
showed.
All right. Thank you. Because that saves me at least $100.
Yeah. Yep.
Yay,
I don't know
yay.
how happy George is going to be, but
Well, he'll be happy. He's good. He's good, Dane. He's okay with building for me.
oh, I know.
He's good about that. Because
Nice.
he comes out in the shop occasionally and he'll say to me, don't you have, what tools do you have to sharpen? Because there are certain tools that he prefers to sharpen because he
Right.
thinks that I use too much metal. said,
Ah,
and he has a lighter touch. And I
okay,
just,
that's what I was getting
and
ready
for-
to say. He thinks you got a heavy hand.
I do. He doesn't. I just call him the sharpening fairy. I said, I'll text him. He's in the house and I'm out in the shop. I'll say, "Oh, sharpening fairy, are you busy?"
Go.
That kind. I can do, I
You know
do
what you-
all the negative rakes and I do all of that kind of stuff. He doesn't like when I mess with the bowl gouges and the spindle gouges because he thinks I waste a lot of metal.
You know what
I
you can
say,
do?
okay.
If
What?
if you switch the wheel direction around on your grinder, then
Mhm.
that heavy hand goes away.
Or I can just call George, just like a
Or you can
plumber.
have, yep, there you go.
There you go.
1-800.
1-800 call George. And it works.
You should
Okay,
get
let me see
you
it.
should get a
More.
sticker made up for him.
I know, here in Arizona, I don't know if you guys have it in other places, but they have this commercial on TV when you have plumbing problems, they say, call George.
Yeah.
And that's what I do when I have sharpening issues.
That's funny.
I know, I
Yeah,
call
we all
George.
have a George down here too.
Yeah, we call George. Okay, so I'm looking here. Carver, come in, Minor Mill. Okay, Scott, I got you. Jump to first unread message. I got it. Okay.
So Sandy, here's the log cutting sled. Somebody
Okay,
wants to highlight me again.
okay, I'm looking.
And so this is a log cutting sled
Okay,
for cutting boards.
okay, a log.
Let's see if I
Okay.
can
Wow.
come up with
What do
a
they
piece
call that
can-
thing that you have in
That's a
Alaska?
bar clamp.
Oh.
Oh, geez, that was
Put all the
good.
log in here like this,
Yeah,
clamp it between these two clamps. And
Slide
this
your camera
backstop
view over.
slides out.
There we go.
You get it loose
now are
enough.
you doing this on a bandsaw or a table saw?
Yep, this is all on a bandsaw.
Bandsaw, okay.
If I can get the camera where we can. Yeah, so this slides out. And the edge of
Okay.
this table, this edge is flush with my blade,
Okay,
and you can set this up. This pinches between here. So you got a
So is
round log on here. You can flatten one side of it,
yeah.
locks between here. Now I just slide this through my bandsaw and it slices
Is-
boards off whatever thickness you want.
Wow. Is that like a fencing thing, with
Yep. So this is a
barb-
fence that slides
Yeah.
in and out this way,
okay,
and you can
Cool.
cut off any size right down to veneer if you wanted to.
wow, wow. Thank you, thank you. I love these things,
That's
thank
slick.
you.
That looks
Yes,
like a
thanks.
Harbor Freight clamp.
It is.
Yeah.
And the reason I use it, it's slotted and it's hollow in the
Yep,
back.
it's nice and
Yeah.
light.
Put T-bolts in the back.
Yep.
To mount it to your backboard.
Wow,
So this can be raised and lowered depending on the diameter of your log, so you kind of hold it close to the center. This piece is a little small. I'd move this down. Normally it would be like down here.
wow, wow.
But if you got-
I wish you guys lived closer to me.
Right.
I would,
Yeah,
no
we
kidding. I
we
would
wish that
invite you
too.
to my shop on a regular basis. Say, come on over. What can we build now?
Right.
But Sandy, there's quite,
I'd love that, man. I have so much fun in other people's shops. I do it as much as I can.
Yeah, I would
Right.
too, but unfortunately, Matt, I have a few people in the club I belong to in Washington that are like that. I love to go to their shops because I like it because they're messy, and they're laid back and they're the good old boys, but boy, do they know what they're doing. I mean, they
Yes.
show me the best stuff. And
Yeah,
so
you
then
learn so
Describing
much.
me so
Yeah.
well until she said they know what they're doing. I have
They
that
do.
message marked down.
They do. I mean, they are good. I mean, they are good. And they build everything. I love it.
And you said you're heading back to Washington tomorrow. Is that what I heard?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. What
Sunday.
route are you taking? Are you going up 17 or how are you going?
Well, we leave here and our first stop will be Ely. And then from Ely, we drive all the way to Pendleton. So that's really a long day. And then from Pendleton, then I have probably 4.5 hours and we'll be back in Silverdale, Washington.
Okay.
So, but
Well, I was
anybody
gonna say,
near
if
me,
you're heading north up to 17, you just bang a left there on Highway 69. You could swing by my house, see my messy
yeah.
shop, but
yeah, but look at this shop. This is like, I'm looking at his wall and I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. But
what do
I
you
do have
drive back and forth between here and Washington?
well, we used to come in our motorhome, but now we bought a park model. We live in Sun City, and
Yeah.
so we just come in my husband's his car.
Oh, okay.
Because it gets the better gas mileage. He has what do you have? A Honda CRV.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
those are nice.
this year I bought some extra stuff down here, which is, I know it's hard to believe that a wood turner would do that, but
Hmm.
I did. So we brought our luggage rack for the back that goes into the trailer hitch.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
I
only
know what you mean. Yep.
it's carrying tools back.
Mhm.
We have no
Nice.
luggage. It's tools going back home. So
That's
at
cool.
home, I'm very fortunate that I don't know, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, or something like that, we built an outbuilding, so I have a really decent sized shop, and it looks kind of like, no, it doesn't look like this shop. I have a Powermatic, I do have that, and I have a couple other, another lathe or two, and I have a lot of stuff. But being a female, I'm a little more tidy. Sorry.
Yeah,
My shop's
Sorry.
far from tidy.
I know.
Me
I said
too.
sorry. I apologize because women are more tidy normally. Not always, but mostly we are.
yeah. My wife's impressed if she comes out here and I've swept up the wood chips. And every
And-
time she walks in the bathroom out here, she's like, "Look at how dirty this is." I said, "It's just sawdust. It's just sawdust." It's okay.
Yeah, but I don't have a bathroom. I could, it was big enough. It was built to have one. But then when they said in Washington, the government is kind of crazy. They want all the money from you they can get. So if
Mhm.
you put any water at all, toilet, sink, or whatever, it's considered a second dwelling.
Yes.
So you have to pay the taxes on that, which are
So
crazy.
the only way I was able to get away with that where I live is because I put a garage door on it. So it was considered a shop. Otherwise, I wasn't even going to be allowed to build mine because my zip code is zoned only for single dwelling or single
Yeah.
family dwellings. Yeah, single
Right.
family home. And so they
And-
won't let us put my neighbor, they built a workshop in their backyard before I built mine. And in their plans, she called it a studio. And because she called it a studio, she wasn't allowed to have water. And she doesn't have a garage door on her. She has 2 French doors. And so
Oh.
I put the garage door on. I called it a workshop. On every piece of paper that went to the town of Prescott Valley, it said workshop. And so I did get approved for my bathroom and utility sink.
And see, ours was the reverse of that. And George met with the county when they came
You
out.
won't come back and see me, girl?
Yeah, and he said that as soon as he said, the shop will be on the end here, he said, do not say the word shop. As soon as you say that, taxes double, blah, blah, blah. And so he said, okay, I'm not going to say, we have 2 garage doors on our outbuilding. We have one for a motorhome that's huge, and we don't even own the motorhome anymore. And then a normal one in the middle, a double car. And then my shop is on the end that has the 2 French doors. But so we couldn't have water, and no. So anyway, it's like 25 steps into the house to go to the bathroom. So just hold it and get there.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we are.
It's
Well,
nice
that's
unless
nice.
it's 30 degrees out.
Wow. Ooh. Ooh. 30.
How
No.
long ago did you sell your motorhome?
Let me think. Probably 5 years ago. 4.
I'd love to
maybe.
call you and pick your brain on that because my wife and I are starting to get in the mood of shopping for one again.
Oh yeah. And we had a really sweet one. And we had it for a number of years. We actually lived full time for 2 years in our motorhome. When we finally got rid of the last kid, from school,
Yeah.
we sold the house. We put things we wanted in storage, and we went full time for like 2+ years. And we kept coming to Arizona. That's how it happened. And then our daughter, who was the last one to get through school, kept calling and say, I want to come home. I need to come home. I have no money. You know, they get through school and they think they're going to make a lot of money and be independent. And they don't understand. You don't make any money until
No.
you get older. And
Yeah.
so anyway, long story short, we kept telling her, we don't have a home. Where are you going to go? You know, that kind of thing. So then we bought another home in Washington nearby so she could come home. And so she lived in it for 6 months and while we were gone. And she lived in it full time. She had it 6 months to herself while we were gone. And then we come back and invade her space. But it worked out
Her space
okay.
that you paid for.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked out okay because now she's married and has children and life went on. And so apparently we must have done something right because now it's all our space. But you know how that goes. Kids and family. Yep. But
I'm gonna
anyway,
let y'all go, so I'll see you next week.
okay, me
Alrighty.
too.
Yeah, Dan.
Okay, thank you, Scott. I appreciate your view of your shop is freaking incredible.
Well, you only seen the one wall.
I know, but I'm pretty impressed by that. Don't show me the other one because George will want a divorce. I want more tools.
Well, I got 2 table saws in here, a bandsaw in here, 2 lathes in here, a planer and a joiner. And I have 2 more lathes in another shed that I'm in the process of restoring.
Wow. You're very busy. So you like turn a little bit on this one and run to the next one?
Well, they're back to back, so all I gotta do is turn around.
Yeah, I have to say I do have 2 in the main shop. And then there's a third one in the other part of the garage, which was George's where his tractor was, but our son-in-law borrowed that and we never got it back. But I use strictly, I have my vacuum truck set up or the Beal system behind me. So
Yeah.
if I need to do any of that, I just turn around and use that one. And then the Powermatic is in the front of that's at the head of the pack. Because it took me 12 years to get it. So I figure after 12 years, it needs to be front and forward.
Is your shirt holding up okay, Sandy?
You know, it is. It actually is. It's done fine. And I'm sorry, you really didn't have to not do what you did. I would have been okay without it. I just kept thinking, well, it went into the black abyss because between Washington and where you are and being in Arizona, hell, it could have gone anywhere.
Yep, well, that was
So-
a snafu on our end, so.
But thank you for that. And the thing is, unfortunately, I can't wear it when I go to SWAT. You know, I know how they have the little lunch area for the Worldwide Woodturners and that because I have to wear my D-Way shirts because they're paying for my room and board and plane fare. So
Yep, I understand.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, that makes good sense right there. Somebody's gonna give you money.
no, exactly. Well, I don't get paid. See, that's the thing.
No, I
should
know
tell-
what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because I absolutely the people, they're good friends of mine and I enjoy what I do and I work with them and it's just fun meeting other wood turners and I get to go to all these places that I normally wouldn't go to if I didn't have a group of people to go with.
Yep,
Yeah.
That means so it's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited, but I'm hoping that I get a lunchtime and I can go in and find the Worldwide Woodturners lunch table and at least say, it's me, I promise you, you know.
well, I'm sure there's
Kinda.
gonna be a table.
Yeah, oh yeah, there usually is because I watch it online all the time. And like I said, I talked to Jimmy and Cindy and they own the company, obviously. And I said, I've always wanted to go to SWAT. And my son lives in Austin, so it's not that far to drive. So I kept trying to talk my husband and say, let's go visit the kids. And then you could drive me to SWAT or I'll drive and I'll just leave you at their house. I have no trouble driving.
That's
So-
cool.
But anyway, I'm coming this year. I'm going to be there.
It's on my bucket list. I thought I was gonna go right after I retired from the military. And then
Mhm.
I went and got this teaching job, and school starts the week of SWAT.
Well,
I'm like, I can't go get a substitute teacher the first week of school.
no, not and hold your reputation.
Yeah, so I don't know. My wife's gonna do. We got to finish the school year out. We got a month left, and then my wife's gonna do 2 more years, and then she's retiring, and then I can do whatever. So at that
Yeah.
point, I might stay a little longer. Maybe I'll retire again with her. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it's all fluid. You never know. I kept thinking that George decided he was going to retire before I did. Obviously, he was a little bit older, and I said, "Oh, I'm not ready to do that." And it turned out I had a bad day at work and came home and retired.
Well, see, my wife is at the point where she can retire anytime.
I know. I wrote
she
my
wants.
letter, and
That's what I always joke. Yeah, I joke. You're gonna have a bad day and come home and tell us we're retired.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so I ended up. I went out before he did.
Huh.
He's going, "What's wrong with this picture? Something's wrong." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to make as much money as you, but I'm younger, so that's okay. I'll outlive you, and if I die, I don't care."
There you go.
He said, "Way to look at it. There you go."
Yeah.
So, but anyway, okay, guys, I'm going to go get some dinner. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good chatting with you.
Night,
too.
Sandy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Is Billy still on?
I don't see him.
Did he show his piece in the gallery part tonight? Billy Burrell?
I don't remember. I'm
Well,
getting old. I don't remember.
Yeah, he did a short little video on TikTok today. I saw, man, it was gorgeous. It's a segmented piece. And I was wondering if he was going to show it tonight, but I came in so late. I thought maybe he'd already showed it.
No, I don't remember seeing a segmented piece from Billy.
Okay. He did say in his video it didn't have the final finish on it yet. So maybe he's holding off till he gets the finish on there.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night too. So good catching up with y'all again.
Yep. Have a good day at school.
All righty. Bye.
Did Dane sneak off into the house or what? All I'm looking at is his lathe.
Probably
Good
taking
night,
care of
all.
the cat.
Taking care of the cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's cat time.
Gone to do the cats.
Hey Martin, what time is it your house?
3:33.
3:33.